example, you can take the negative. So if you want to take the negative of an image, you have to subtract the 255, that is the maximum value to low value. For example, when you take an image, you will say that the skin color is white and the hair color is black. So white refers to 55 and black refers is 0. So when you subtract 255 from 0, you will get 255. So the actual input is 0. So 255 minus 0 will result in 255. So you're converting the 0, that is the black region, into the white region. So the reverse is possible with the value of 255. If the input is 255, then you're from the value 255, you're subtracting 255, it will result in a value 0. So the 255 is white region is converted to 0, which is the black region. So you will get the negative of an image. Then you have smoothing, sharpening. So as I said earlier, smoothing will result in blurring the image. The image will look blurred. Sharpening is result in making the image to get clear in the way that the edges are highlighted. So the objective of image enhancement is to make the picture to look better. So this is an example for an image in a MATLAB. So this command to specify what data type of format it is. It can support JPEG, PMP, uh, PNG, any file format. And just I am showing that image. A simple command of RGB to gray will convert this color image. Even by looking, the image can be looking like a grayscale image, but actually it is a color image. So this color image is converted into a grayscale image by using the command RGB to create. Then by just applying the histogram equalization for the grayscale image, you're getting a image looking brighter. So this image is having more dark shade. In the output image, the image is having the grayscale values ranging from the low to high. That's why the image is looking bright. The third topic is image restoration. The objective of image enhancement is subjective. Its focus is to making the image to look better. But in the case of image restoration, here we need to restore the value without affecting the originality. You can change the value, but without affecting the originality. That's why image enhancement will be said as subjective and image restoration will be said as objective. Why restoration? What is the difference between image enhancement and restoration? Both are making the image to look better. But the thing is, image restoration can be applied for a very sensitive images, like the image which is captured in a space. So if there is a white region in the space, it shows that some water bodies or any other difference is available. By using enhancement, the originality may be missed out. So we want to maintain the originality of the image. Thus, we are going for restoration. For restoration, we are applying filters like mean, median, and everything. So usually you will have a input image which is of a matrix. By using this filter concept, what it will do means it will uh, apply a mask matrix. That mask matrix will be kept at the position of a input matrix and it will perform the convolution. After convolution, the resultant output will be like this. So as I said, only the change is changing the pixel value in the image such that it is looking better. Okay, so there are different types of filters, mean, median, everything. So this is an example of a median filter. So this is an image with salt and pepper noise. There are different type of noise Gaussian noise, Rayleigh noise, salt and pepper noise. The speciality of salt and pepper noise is the salt is in the color of white and pepper is in the color of black. So in the image, there will be a sprinkling of white and black pixels. So that result in a noise environment. So this is the input image with salt and pepper noise. The first result is for the medium size filter with 3x3 at the first pass. So it will take a 3x3 matrix and it will find the median value. Mean, we know mean, you have to sum up all the values and divide it by the number of elements. Similarly, median means you have to arrange the 9 values. Since you have taken 3x3 value, you have to consider the first 3x3 matrix and arrange the numbers in increasing order, and you find the mid value. And the mid value, if it is divided by 2, then you will get the median value. So this is the first pass. And if you are giving this input as a this image, first stage image as an input, and that results in the second pass. And if you give the second pass image as input, you will get the third pass image. So at each stages, you are able to identify that the image is looking better. Then comes the morphological operation. Morphological operation refers the structural operation. Here, if you want a particular region in an image, the objective of this morphological operation is you're going to do the 4 types of structural operation, naming erosion, dilation, closing, and opening. These are the 4 structural operations. Erosion, as the name implies, it erode. It means it reduces the region. Usually for performing morphological operation, the input image we consider will be a black and white image. Though it can applied for grayscale image, usually morphological operation will be applied for the grayscale, or sorry, black and white image. So you have an image, if you apply erode concept, the white region is getting reduced. Erode means it is, we will say, arichittu porathu. So the white region is getting reduced. Dilation means you are diluting. So you are increasing the quantity. So increasing the white region is called dilation. And closing means the 2 above process. That is, first we are performing dilation. That is, first we are diluting or increasing the image, followed by erosion. Opening means first we are doing erosion followed by dilation. These are the 4 basic morphological operation. So in this image, I need to focus only in the center portion. I don't want the remaining regions. So first I have to apply the morphological operation erode. That means removing, okay, reducing. So how I can define? I am focusing only on the other regions. So compared to the outer regions and the center part, the mid region is having a area or size very less. So I'm going to keep in the image only the size above 200 or above 150. So when I apply this condition, it will check for the region, each region. So what will be the region size of this? If it is 50 and this is 200 and this is 250, and the remaining are in terms of 100, 50, the middle level values or in the range of 50. So when I apply erosion, the smaller regions are getting eroded. So I'm getting these 2 values. So again, I don't want as outer edges. Then I have to set the region size as 250. So keep only the regions which are above 250. Then the center part will be getting as an output. All the remaining small region areas are removed since we have set the threshold value above this particular condition. So this is the morphological operation output for a image. So here applying the closing operation. First it is diluting, then it is eroding. So in opening, first it is eroding, then and it is diluting. So the output will be different for both open and close. Next, we are moving to the segmentation. So segmentation, as the name implies, it is dividing a particular region of an image. So for this we can consider an example of number plate recognition. So in a vehicle, first it have to locate where the license plate is or the number plate is. So first it capture the image and it have to locate where the license plate will be. So after locating, it have to we don't want the remaining areas of the car. We need only the area that is belonging to the license plate. So we need to segment that alone from the environment. So by using the morphological operations, so I have done a research paper on this number plate recognition. So you capture an image, then you apply grayscale image. Then in grayscale image, you have to apply the morphological operation. So the regions with similar value are combined together, and the resultant will highlight only the number plate region. So after removing the number plate from that region, you have to individually identify each alphabets and the numbers. So for number recognition, so in a database, we will have different alphabets with their numbers and the types. The difficulty which we have faced while performing the number plate recognition is it's very difficult to recognize the number 8 and B. The notation for 8 is similar to B, so it is very difficult to recognize those two digits, and 0 and O. So how we are going to differentiate it? So the first two digits or three digits will refer to the alphabets. So and the remaining digits are referring the numbers. And in our Indian system, we are facing a difficulty that each vehicle is having different font of style in representing the numbers. So even the government have set a common format. People are not using it, so we face a lot of difficulty when we are recognizing the number plate of this vehicles. Where you are going to use this number plate application means in toll gate. If you want to automatically, when a vehicle is entering, it have to locate the number and it have to automatically debit the amount for passage. So in those applications, we will be using this image segmentation concept to locate or separate a particular region. The same can be applied for traffic sign recognition. So in a captured image, first we have to locate where the traffic sign is. Then we have to say what type of sign it is. So for all those things, the basic is you have to segment the particular region from the image. Next is the object recognition. So object recognition பாத்தீங்கன்னா ஒரு இமேஜ்ல என்னென்ன ஆப்ஜெக்ட்ஸ் இருக்கு அப்படின்றத it have to recognize and say as the thing which you have seen with the fruit. So it is an image where you have car, there is a bus, there is a traffic light, this is a person. So why we need this object recognition concept means you're making the machine to work as a human. That is the objective of artificial intelligence. So if a human is able to identify that this is a bus or a person, the machine should also be able to identify that. So in that case of application, we are going for this object recognition. Or you are asking a robot, go and take my mobile, means it should know what is that mobile means, and it have to check where it is available, how a human is searching for an object. In the similar way, they have to search and it have to locate where it is and it have to retrieve. So for all those kind of application, this object recognition concept is very important. Then there is a representation and description which says how we have said according to it is an image, but according to the system it is a number of in a matrix format. Similarly, some of the object, it is a chain model. So here it will check if the value is if this is the object, it will identify the edges alone. So for example, if it is occupying here, the point is noted down here and it forms a basic similar structure compared to the original image. And from this image, you are going to represent if it is going increasing order upward, means you have to give the value 1. If it is moving towards east, then the value is 0. If it is moving down, then the value is 3. If it is moving towards left, then the value is 2. So what is the speciality of this is, even if the image is of different size with the same structure, using this model, it can able to recognize what type of object is. That is representing or describing the image in terms of another parameters like values chain model. Then another important area on image processing is image compression. So where people, those who are using YouTube and WhatsApp, everything, they will say that the size of the image should be this much. Then only it can be transmitted using the WhatsApp or mail. So at the time we need to compress our image. So compressing means if an image is of size 1024 cross 1024, the image size is very large. You want to reduce it. So what you have to do is you have to reduce it to a size of 5112 cross 5112. So what you can do means you can remove the alternate columns. Okay, so you are keeping the first row there, removing the second row, keeping third row there, removing the fourth row, fifth row is there, sixth row. So when since the pixel value is of very high 1024 cross 1024, you are removing the alternate rows or alternate columns. We human eye, we can say that even people not wearing specs, they have also having some defect. If some information is missed out, it will not be easily noticed easily by the eye. So even if some rows are removed from the image, we are able to see the image without any information loss. That surely there will be some loss in the data, but it will not be affecting the end user that much. So in those areas, we will be using the image compression concepts. For sending information in a WhatsApp, we can use lossy compression. But when the case in the transferring the medical data like MRI, CT scan images from one hospital to another hospital, then the image should not be lossy. So they have to apply the lossless compression technique. Then the color image processing. As I have said, usually in all image processing concept, the images are processed only in grayscale. Very rarely or in very few applications, we need to work in the color image also. So why we are not going for the color image means, one of the important thing, it reads 3 matrix which represents RGB or CYM or HSI. So the requirement or the size of the matrix will be done thrice. So if we convert this RGB image to grayscale image means we are making a 3x3 matrix, 3x3 matrix of 3 dimension into two-dimensional matrix. That is the objective. Okay, so these are the basic fundamental steps involved in the image processing. I think if you are studying this as a curriculum, then this is the first unit topic, fundamental steps involved in image processing. So where you can use this image processing concept. Okay, so I know everyone is using the camera for capturing the image. There is an app called Beautification. So it is mostly applied in the front camera. So whenever we are taking selfie, you can see when you take the image at the backside, through the backside of the camera, you will able to notice some black marks if it is available in your face, like dots or black dots, everything. But when you take the photo and apply beautification in your front camera, your face will be looking bright. That is, they are applying the beautification concept. Okay, what they are actually doing means they are making the image is a big size of matrix. They first concentrate on 3x3 matrix. If you are there is a huge size of matrix 1024 cross 1000, and first we focus on the first 3x3 matrix. So all the values, or if it is a face, all the values on that region will be white except the black dot. So all the values are 255 except 1 point. So when you take the mean value, what it will have, you have to sum up all the 255 8 times plus 0 divided by 9. So it will be approximately 2 about 200. So if it is about 200, then it is going to represent it as a white. So when we look into the camera, that black spot is converted into a high level white. Okay, that is the objective of beautification. Then noise removal, as I said, the same concept is applied here also. When you are removing the marks in your face, here also we are focusing on noise removal. And deep blurring. So whenever we have captured an image while the object is moving, when a sportsman is running in a competition and you have taken a snap, and but since due to the motion of that person, when you capture the image, you feel that the image is blurred. So at the time, you cannot make him to run one more time. So you can apply this deep blurring technique, which slightly help you to get a better image. Filtering, as we have seen already, the filtering can be done in two domains, spatial and frequency domain. When you are studying signals, you will be saying two domains as time and frequency domain, because the signal is represented in the time domain, and for better understanding the signal, we need to convert them into a frequency domain. But in image processing, we have two domains. One is spatial domain and frequency domain. Spatial domain refers or represents the signal in coordinates, that is representing the signal in x comma y. So if my row is this 5 and my column is 5, then the position at 5,5 means it has some value. Then segmentation, image enhancement, and another important application is watermarking. When you want to have a copyright, or when you want your document to be very protective, that someone should not use it, then you have to apply watermark image on your documents. This you might have seen in the documents which you have like study materials or questions which you have downloaded from the website. Then edge detection. So when you are actually working in a project, this edge detection is very important, because there are many types of edge detection like Canny, Sobel, Privet. So in all this concept, they will have a filter called mask. It is also a matrix of small size. Either it can be 3x3 or 5x5. Most probably we will be using 3x3. So when you apply this mask, how similar to if you are a person of fan of Ajit or Vijay, you will have a mask of him. Then you will be resemble like a him. So similarly, in an image, when you apply this mask, based upon this mask quality, the images will provide some information like edges. If you have edges, and if you want to know identify only the horizontal lines in the images, then you can apply a matrix where all the elements are 0 except the mid row. So it will help you to identify the sleeping lines. If you have made it as a diagonal matrix alone 1 1 1 and the remaining are 0, in an input image where and all diagonal lines are available, that alone will be derived as an output. Okay, so this edge detection is very important when you do the applications or projects in image processing. So coming to the field where and all image processing is used means, as I've said, in medical field to diagnose the cancer or affected tumor area, what type of cancer it is, uh, the severity in the retina, all those medical application is using image processing. Then face detection and recognition. So if you show an image, it have to locate where the face is. When you're taking a photo, it will first locate your face, because if face is very exact, then you can say the image quality will be good. So you need to identify the face. Face detection will say where the face is. Face recognition will say who it is. Whether it is Devapriya or it is Srihari, like that, it will say. So when you take photos and you have registered your name with the face means, then whenever you are capturing an image, it says whether it is Devapriya or someone else. Then security purpose. So for a home security or office purpose security, so you will be using your thumb or iris, or even your face, voice, everything can be used as a security code. So in those applications, it have to capture the thumb image and it have to compare it with the database, whether this person's database input is matching with the database. If the matching is done, then it will display your name and you are permitted to inside. We will always say that security means it should not allow unknown person inside. Similarly, security also means it should allow the right person at any time. Because why I'm saying this means, when in our college system, we have a thumb recognition system for our attendance. So if during the image capturing mode, I have not applied any Mardani or anything. But due to some festival, I have applied some Mardani. If I am go on keeping the thumb, it is not recognizing me, because the pattern is getting changed. So why they are not only focusing on one parameter, that is iris thumb means, if there is any injured in the thumb, or if there is during winter season, the regions between the edges, ridges and valleys will get changed. That is நம்ம தண்ணில கை ரொம்ப ஊறிடுச்சுன்னு சொன்னா உங்களோட அந்த edges இதெல்லாம் கொஞ்சம் வேரி ஆயிடும். So அப்பையும் it should say that I am Devapriya. So one parameter, that is thumb alone cannot be a good solution. So they are going for one more option like face and iris. So by any one of the method, the system should get support for the end user. Then the autonomous vehicle. So that we will see in the next slide in detail. Then agriculture. So in agriculture, to get to notice what is the affected areas in the leaves, what type of disease it is based upon the color, and what is the nature pattern of that affected portion. So through that, they are able to diagnose what type of disease it is. So by suggesting this will be the disease, the corresponding pesticides is used to remove the affected portions. And also it is used for ripening or the plugging the ripened fruits. If you have installed the image processing concept in a machinery, it have to identify where the apple is and it have to pluck it. How it knows this where the apple is? All other region or will be looking brown or green. So the region where there is red, it shows that there is a red color. So it will start at plucking the fruits. So in agriculture, it is very useful. It is also used in industries. Then satellite, like when you are capturing an image through a satellite, you are able to calculate what will be the water region, what will be the land region, what will be the area of the cultivation regions. So that will be helpful with the help of image processing. The night vision is also one of the important area. And some of the images will not be taken in a visual environment, that is bright light environment. They are captured during the night vision. So you can apply the image processing concepts in night vision. So in the objects like in agriculture field, if they don't want some animals to enter into project, so when in the of environment, an alarm will be set to the end user. Then virtual background, as we have seen, virtual background is the thing where your environment is same, and it is applicable to a lot of movies. Even in Bahubali, you might have noticed all the things they have done with virtual background. So some interesting application within Google is self-driving cars. Okay, self-driving cars that we will see next. So the self-driving car is embodying the technology advanced driver assistance system. This is my research area. So you want, in earlier days, the driver or only meant for driving. But nowadays, even a professor, a carpenter, or a business person are also making driving the vehicles. So they may not be noticing as a actual driver. So they need some assistance for them while driving. So what type of assistance a system can do means, the first one is speed bump detection. So when there is a speed bump, a driver, we might have experienced this kind of things. So you will be noticing the speed bump only after going very near to them. So we have a system for that which will detect the speed bump, and it will give either alarm to the driver or reduce the speed of the vehicle. How it is going to identify that there is a speed bump? We know as a human, when we are noticed in the roadside, speed bump, there is a pattern of white and black alternative patterns. But in the case of zebra crossing also, there will be some white and black pattern. So how we are going to differentiate zebra crossing from the regular speed bump? So in speed bump, there will be some projection. So the line, that is the white region, will not be a straight line. It will be a curved nature. So from that, we are able to differentiate the speed bump and the zebra crossing. The next one is traffic sign recognition. So it will locate where the traffic sign is, and it will say what type of sign it is, whether it is a mandatory sign, because we will say to the policeman, whenever we are crossed, why you are coming in this way, one way, we will say that I have not noticed it. So if you have this driver assistance vehicle, it will say what type of signboard it is, and it is a mandatory sign or a informatory sign, anything, and it will say what the information is available inside the signboard. That can also be done using traffic sign recognition. Then adaptive cruise control. So the objective of this system is to avoid accident. So by looking the image, you can see this is our vehicle, and in the same lane you see another vehicle. There is an yellow shade which covers the distance. If my vehicle is running in this speed and the earlier vehicle is running at this speed, is there is any possibility to get collision? If it is so, it will alert the driver. Then again, intelligent speed adaptation. So in our country, we will not be following the speed limitation. Even if the speed is 50, it will go alone. We will be going around 100. But when you adapt these kind of things in our vehicle, the manufacturer, the car manufacturer, have to embed these kind of things in the vehicle. So whenever it sees a signboard with 50, this vehicle speed should automatically reduce to 50, and it should not increase above that. So like that, the intelligence should be done. Then the lane departure warning. So in our country, we are not, our number of lane is not very high, and even we have said that Left lane, the low speed vehicles, and right side we will say it should be a high speed vehicles. But in abroad, there are different lanes with respect to different speed limit. So for the first lane, it should be around 60. After that, the lane speed of the vehicle ranging from 60 to 80, then 80 to 100, 100 to 150. So they will split up this range. So unnoticingly, the driver, due to his deviation, he made a departure from the lane assigned to him. According to his speed, the lane should match. So when he is deviating, then it should be warned him that you are deviating. Your speed limit is this, and you are moving to the lane speed of this. So what you are going to do? Whether you are going to reduce the speed of the vehicle or just giving warning to the driver. And another interesting area is driver drowsiness detection. So in earlier days, our parents will say, don't the person who is sitting next to the driver should not sleep. They should be active. Since if the driver get drowsy, then the whole system will get collapsed. So how to know whether the driver is getting drowsy? So what are the symptoms we notice while feeling drowsy means? We will be yawning much, and we will nod our head, and our eye will be closing for long time. So these are the symptoms which helps to identify. So all this are done by capturing an image and check whether this is matching with the normal condition. If there is any abnormalities, then that should be intimated. Okay, then these are the some of the important applications. So the second one is for security, security purpose. So the input image. So banking sector, if you want to apply security system, abina, a simple image processing concept can be applied. You are capturing an environment without any person. That is the still image. எப்பயுமே அந்த environment அப்படிதான் இருக்க போகுது. So you are capturing an image. If some two persons are moving in that environment, அப்படின்னா just small image processing subtraction. எப்படி நீங்க மேத்தமெட்டிக்கல்ல addition, subtraction, multiplication பண்றீங்களோ அதே மாதிரி a small subtraction will help you to identify the intruders from the environment. So இப்போ இந்த image subtraction concept apply பண்ணீங்கன்னா original imageல இது எல்லாமே இருக்க போகுது except the 2%. So it will do a one by one subtraction. Okay, so since there is a light glow, there may be some white regions in this region. So after identifying this, by applying the morphological operation, removing the small regions and concentrating, and by diluting the major focused area, the white region is getting increased. The same, a small image processing concept like subtraction is used at the level of security. So if you see in seashore, these are the prohibited area. Since there is a heavy storm possibility, you are not allowed. If a person is entering, then a system should get alert to the police. So they will identify that there is a person, and they will able to inform him about the severity. So these kind of things are possible with image processing. So as a student of instrumentation and control, you will be focusing on the industries. So in industries, how image processing is used. In an industry, to check all the components are fitted exactly in the circuit board, then image processing is possible. So if any IC is missing out, so it will have a standard template that this should be the normal perfect condition of an image. If any component is missing, by just applying image subtraction technique, you can able to locate where the component is missing. Similarly, you can apply tested OK. After verifying every kits, they will label the kits with tested OK. So whether that sticker is available. So it is used to check whether all the components are properly embedded and whether it is tested OK. In medical field, it can ensure whether all the tablet are filled inside. If some of the tablets are not filled, then that can be intimated by the if all the colors are in red. If tablet is not there, then that color will be white. So that can be identified easily. And this is the case where you're checking whether all the bottles are perfectly filled. Everything is possible with manual thing, but if a man is performing this task, he can perform only 1,000 or 1,500, but a machine can perform millions of checking without any um, tired. And these are some of the application where they will check the nature or texture of the uh, standard texture of the thing, like materials, cloth materials, whether it is of standard size or whether it is having any damages, that can be easily noticed. So in a metal, if there is any crack which cannot be easily noticed through our naked eye, so by applying image processing, you can check what will be the size of the depth and how to solve it. These are the different type of crack cuttings available in the image. And this is the thing which I have said for the cloth fault detection. So manual inspection of the cloth pattern, whether there is any damages or is not possible, they can miss out something. But image processing will work as the same throughout the day. It will not work based upon the time. So it is able to identify the faults easily. And even for painting also, they are using image processing. Okay, so that's why I had done. I think that I have maintained my proper timing. So this is my detail. devapriya@gmail.com, w.devapriya@gmail.com, and this is my mobile number. Okay.
Okay, thank you, madam.
Thank you, sir.
Presentation. I hope my students and other participants definitely benefited by your brief lecture about it. Varshini, you please give a vote of thanks.
Okay, sir. Okay. Good day.
If you have any questions, one second, ma'am. If you have any questions, you can ask. Because today morning only I came to know that you are studying this as a regular paper. So since I thought that you are a general audience, I have just focused only on the application. If needed, we can focus on the individual topic also. Okay, thank you. If you have any queries, you can ask now. Okay, if not, then we can go for the vote of thanks. Thank you so much.
Shall I proceed, sir?
Yes.
Good day, all. I deem it a great honor and privilege to propose the vote of thanks on this memorable occasion. Let me first of all start by giving glory to the Almighty God for making today's occasion a resounding success. I thank our special guest, Dr. Devapriya, Associate Professor, Department of ECE, KSR Institute of Engineering and Technology, Namakkal, who has spent her valuable time with us, enlightening us with very useful information. I assure you, ma'am, this session was very informative and our participants are going to make the best out of it. I sincerely thank our chairman and MD, sir, Dean, ma'am, our department HOD, sir, and staff members for organizing such an amazing event for the betterment of students. Last but not the least, I give my warm-hearted thanks to the active participants who have been cooperative and attentive throughout the session and helping us make this session a resounding success. With that being said, I leave you all by wishing everyone a very happy Independence Day and hope you all are safe and sound at home. Thank you.
Thank you, Varshini. Thank you, madam. Thank you, all the participants. I hope everything is went on well. Thank you, madam.
Okay. Thank you, sir. Thank you for inviting me. Thank you all.